All right. Joey T and the Snob. How do you dig in the new music? We got a guest here. If you've been paying attention to some of those promos I put out there, I said we're going to have guests. Anybody shows up at Joey T and the Snob's house is going to be the Snob for the day. And we have the Snob for the day. And we have Doc. Welcome.
Thanks, Joe.
All right.
Happy to be here.
And here's the phrase that pays. The Snob for the day. All right. And that's you.
Okay.
Today, we're going to be talking about a wine. We opened this wine over 2 hours ago. It's called Vin Perdue. Another phrase that pays, Vin Perdue. 2018. And so what we want to do is let's have a little discussion. We could get technical. We can get subjective. We could get whatever we want because you know why? I'm Joey T and the Snob. It's my little thing here. So, all right, let's give it a whirl. A little dingy here. All right. Ooh.
Very pretty.
Nice nose. And I wasn't talking about your nose, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
But
it was made for this, though.
I think so, man. You know the first thing I taste? It's a mouthfeel.
Always.
What do you think?
That's your favorite thing.
It is, yeah.
But it is best part of this wine, I guess.
It's silky, don't you think? Or
yeah, I mean, I get a sense of a Syrah here. That's the first thing. That's the first thing that jumps out at me. I get that really a little bit of tartness, a little pepper. There's a nice black cherry feel to it.
Would you say Syrah indicative of pepper and the things that you just said?
That's very typical.
All right. Did you know is 38% Syrah? Looking at the notes over here. There's 5 varietals in this wine, and you picked out the number 1. So I held it. It was sealed on Funkin' Wagnall's porch or something, mayonnaise jar. You know how that all goes. He didn't know this. So Syrah, you picked out Syrah, which is good. It was the top percentage. So I'm also looking at the color. Very, very dark.
Really inky kind of, look to it. It's young, obviously. We know. It's 2018.
Yeah.
But,
still dark, though, right?
Yeah.
What drives an inky look?
Well, if you're going to be typical like Bordeaux blends,
Yep.
like we talked before, I mean, it's going to be a Petit Verdot, maybe a Cab Franc, something, something of that nature.
Petit Verdot is in here, and that is 12%. So you got two of the 5. You even saved Cab Franc, so that's also about
there's going to be Cabernet, of course. There's always Cabernet.
Cab. Tradition. Would you say this is a traditional Cab or
no? Definitely not.
No.
I mean, just tasting this and having had a little bit before we did this broadcast,
right?
Is that this is not if you're looking for a Napa Valley Cabernet blend, this is more of a Syrah type feel to the blend.
I'm not a big Napa Valley Cabernet guy. I mean, I like the dirt, right? I like the very earthiness, which would tend to lean, I guess, would you say that's more old world?
Yes, absolutely. It's been much more terroir based, whereas most New World is much more alcohol driven.
And would you say this is old or new?
It's definitely New World, but it's definitely a nice blend. This is not your typical, in my opinion, not your typical Cabernet blend, for California, but it has a much more Syrah, it's much more approachable.
We've talked in the past, or at least off camera or off microphone. There's 3 or 4 parts to a wine. You got the alcohol, you got the tannins, you got the acidity. How would you say this comes together?
Oh, it's perfect. It's well married. It's all balanced, really nice. I mean, the alcohol level about 14.5%. You don't even feel it. It's
all right. Yeah, no, it is. It's 14.6. So you're right on. And typically really something that high, which Joey T, as people know, doesn't prefer that high of alcohol. Because you feel that burn. I'm not feeling the burn. Are you feeling the burn?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's very well incorporated, very well balanced between all aspects.
And why would that be? Is that kudos to
the winemaker? Of course.
The winemaker. Yeah. And who is the winemaker?
Heidi Barrett.
Heidi Barrett. And if you don't know that name, look her up. because
the queen of the cult cab, Joe.
Oh, look at that. Another phrase. We got lots of phrase that pays today. The queen of the cult cab. Yeah. And so Heidi Barrett is famous for making what wine out there?
Screaming Eagle.
Screaming Eagle. Yeah. And in order to get a Screaming Eagle, you're not getting one. All right. It's real simple. You're not happening. Right. But if you could, is that going to be like you're paying 14 mortgages for this?
Well, the fact that she's involved in that and tasting this, I would say I would, if I could find one and someone else was paying, I would probably
do it. Yeah. But the fact is, you're probably not. And if you do, call Joey T and he'll be glad to do a review on that.
Absolutely.
But here it is. You're getting about the same for it. This is a $100 bottle-ish. And it's you can drink it with your friends and not feel guilty about it, right?
No, not at all.
Or charge them as they walk in the house, right? So,
but it's definitely a crowd pleaser. I mean, most people would enjoy this wine for sure.
And we talked New World, Old World. So, you said Napa. Like, is there a certain side of Napa that you would think this resides from or it comes from?
Well, just tasting, I couldn't tell, but obviously looking at the back here, it says it's more eastern-facing vineyards. So in Napa, our eastern-facing vineyards tend to be much more.
So be warmer.
They get the sun in the morning.
A little warmer, right?
Well, they get the sun in the morning rather than the afternoon. So if you're facing west, if you're on the east side of Napa, the valley, you faced west. Vineyards actually face west, so they get afternoon sun, which is a lot warmer.
Yeah.
So they get riper and heavier, whereas this wine is going to be different. They're eastern facing, so they tend to ripen slower,
right?
Which produces more complexity, a little more tannin.
This is
where last longer.
This is where the winemaker comes in to know how to balance all this together.
That's correct.
I think the other thing that's really cool with this bottle is it's worth the $95 that you're paying. On the front of this, there's a helicopter, right? And if you kind of tilt and go back and forth and, whatever, makes you work there, it shows that the helicopter's taking off. And they're saying, the story is that that's Heidi taking her wine with her. So please, Heidi, don't take it for Joey T and the Snob. We like this wine. We're going to buy some more.
Leave some for us.
This is an 18. You said this is it's young. What would you say? Will this go on another 10 years, would you say?
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean,
no doubt.
Yeah. 10 years for sure.
Yeah, you look at it, there's no brown along the edges.
It's very young. You can keep it for a while.
All right. Sure. So anybody wanting me to do this in 10 years, please send me another bottle, and I'll be glad. The doc.
We can see how it changes over a 10-year period.
And that is the fun with wine, right? Mm-hmm. And so whether you're old world, new world, you like 5 grapes, varietals, and it doesn't matter. Drink what you like and like what you drink.
I think this would be fun with food, too.
And I'm glad you brought that up. What type of food? What would you say? I'm just going to drink. Well, what would you have?
You could do with this wine for sure. This is definitely drinkable. You could just sit.
You don't have
around.
to have the food.
That's for sure.
But it makes it better.
It would. And definitely something with fat. So you're looking at something with pepper, fat. So, nice New York strip, some lamb with some nice, crust on there.
All right. It
would be quite good.
You're making me hungry. The other thing is you mentioned one thing that when I did the nose and I had a little bacon in there. You know how much I like bacon.
Yeah,
What's driving that, you think?
Well, it's just it has to do with the fat. It just has to do with the feel in the mouth. It's just the combination gives you that sense with the alcohol that there's a bacon. But I do believe it's the blend. It's the way she makes it. It's the complexity of the wine. Yeah.
Well, Heidi, I'm a big bacon guy, so you just keep making those wines with bacon in it, and I'm all over this. So
it's definitely got a terroir to it.
A terroir.
Even though it's New World, it's definitely got that sense.
All right, another phrase that pays is terroir. So, all right, let's end this here. I think we really enjoyed having this. Doc, I enjoyed having you here. I hope you come back. Hopefully. you'll be bringing the next Vin Perdue, the phrase that pays. And let's cut to the music. And hey, if you liked what you saw today, send me a note and tell me about it. Or if you want to see something new, send a note. Joey__T@hotmail.com. Please be safe, everybody. And thanks for watching in.